Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me this evening. This is, first of all, I'm Heather Jadis, and I have a website called Beauty on a Mission. And what I try to do is teach people how to choose better products with less toxins so that they can have healthier lives. And that's kind of Toxic Beauty 101 is an overview of how to do this. Oops, hold on 1 second. Okay, so this is me. This is my story. I started working with a company called Beauty Counter just over 2 years ago. And before that time, I had no idea about products or their ingredients, or that there were some things that I was putting on my skin and my kids' skin that really weren't very safe or healthy. When I heard about Beauty Counter, I joined them immediately because their mission was very strong about getting safe products into the hands of everyone. And it really lit a fire on me to go further. I found other companies that were selling safe products, different kinds of products, and also joined the environmental working group and just started looking even at my cleaning products. I mean, everything. I always knew about the food and eating organic if you can, but I never realized about all the things in our personal products. So here I am, almost 2 years later, trying to teach everybody I know. So the first thing I want you to wrap your head around or think about is how many products do you put on your skin, your body, your hair every day? And some people come and they're like, well, I don't wear a lot of makeup, so I think, I'm pretty safe. But if you really sit down and think about it, if you use deodorant and toothpaste, shampoo, body wash, soap, perfume, just give a count of any product that touches your skin or hair. And most women use about 12 per day, but a lot of people use more than that. So this can be even more alarming for some people. Now, the problem with a lot of the products are the fact that these statistics are true. The United States has not passed a federal law to regulate cosmetic ingredients since 1938. This is scary, but it's very true. And if you think about all the synthetic chemicals that have been produced for scents and color and whatever else to make things work the way they're supposed to work. And it doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything synthetic is not safe. The problem is that there's, no laws have been passed. We don't know. We just don't know if these things are safe. So the European Union has spent the past 2 decades banning or restricting more than 1,300 ingredients, and the U.S. has only banned 11 to date. And only about 10% of the 10,000 chemicals commonly found in personal care products have any safety data. So again, it could be safe, and that's great, but it would be nice if we had the studies to show that. So decades of studies indicate that there are serious health issues, including but not limited to asthma, learning disability, cancers, infertility. All these things are on the rise, and a lot of it is due to our exposure to toxic chemicals, which some is in the school, some is in the air, and we can't control all of it. But if we can, everything that we can control, we could do a little bit at a time. Every choice counts. So a lot of people say, well, it's only touching my skin. It's not like I'm eating the stuff. But here's the problem. Things that are on your skin do get absorbed. Some things more than others. It depends on what's in them. There's a different absorption rate for different things. But the things that do get absorbed go straight to your bloodstream. When you eat something and a toxin gets into your body through your mouth, it goes to the digestive system, goes to the liver, and it gets detoxified by the liver. When something is on your skin, there's no liver detoxification. It literally just gets right into your bloodstream. So, even if there's a little minuscule bit, say in your lotion, but you're using your lotion every day, 365 days a year for 10 years, that can add up. Every time you put it on, you get just like a little dose of something that you're not supposed to be getting. The market really overuses the words organic, natural, pure, hypoallergenic. They slap that label onto products to try to get you to buy them, and they really have no meaning because there's no regulation. There's nobody policing those words. Now, that's not saying that every product that has that on it really isn't doing that. There are companies out there that are actually trying to be organic, trying to be natural, and they're really using the proper ingredients to do that. But you have to do your homework. You really have to know. You have to trust the company you're buying from. Know that their mission is to get those safe things in your products, and you have to actually test the things and go through and look at every ingredient, and I'll show you how to do that. But the bottom line truth is that not all natural ingredients are safe, and not all synthetic ingredients are unsafe. And just for an example, like iron, iron is lead. Oh man, it's late at night. Anyways, lead is a natural ingredient, natural substance, but you don't want it in your lipstick, you don't want it in your makeup because it's unsafe for the human body. And then there's tons of synthetic ingredients and fragrances and things that are probably safe for the body, but they just need to be tested so that we know that that's the case. So you can see how your products rate, and this is how I rate products. If you go to the Environmental Working Group Skin Deep database, which can be found at www.ewg.org/skin deep, they have somewhere around 80,000 products listed in there. And just so you know, the companies, if there's a company that's not listed in there, it might kind of raise a red flag, only because the companies do have to give the okay to be listed. So if they're not listed, it doesn't mean that they're all bad, but it might kind of raise a red flag. So the products are rated on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being completely harmless, 10 being toxic, go throw it away, don't ever use this product again. And it rates the products. You have to put all the ingredients in, and it will tell you like an overall rating of the product, but it will also rate each ingredient in the product, so you can see which ingredients are making that product either safe or unsafe. There's a little list here just for your use of top 10 ingredients to avoid. These are definitely things that if you look on your ingredient lists of your products and see any of these things. The problem with this list is there's a lot of words that maybe are similar. There's a lot of things that act the same but might have a different name. And like number 2 is formaldehyde. There's very rarely will you just see the word formaldehyde listed on the ingredient list, but there's a lot of ingredients that when they mix with other ingredients, they become formaldehyde releasers, so they turn into formaldehyde. So, it's really hard to get just a basic list of things to stay away from. But this is if any of these are on there, then you should definitely stop using that product. One of my favorite products to talk about that's very unsafe is antiperspirant deodorant. Now, antiperspirant and deodorant are very important. I wear them. You have to, because you don't want to smell. But the problem with deodorant is, well, there's a few problems with it. Obviously, there's some things in deodorant that really shouldn't be put on the body. Aluminum, one of them. But also, sweating is one of the best ways to release toxins. And when you put deodorant on, you are blocking that process. So it's almost like a double. And women shave. Okay, so then you're also opening, you kind of have some little openings there. You're putting the deodorant in, you're blocking the toxins from coming out. It's actually like triple bad. But there are some safe deodorants out there if you go to the Skin Deep database. And I actually did a blog post and tried 12 different natural deodorants. Some of them I just could never, ever, ever use. But there are some good ones on the market, and it's different for everybody. Some will work for you and some won't. What I generally do is I use the natural, I safe deodorant every day, but if I go to the gym, I use the one the kind of the bad one, but that's it. And then I shower and that's all I use it for. Every choice counts. Fragrance. Fragrance is an ingredient that should never, ever, ever be on any of the ingredient lists of your personal products. Now, that doesn't mean that your products have to be fragrance free and don't smell. That's not what it means at all. The word fragrance in the cosmetics industry is a trade secret. And what that means is they do not have to divulge what ingredients are within that word. The problem here is there could be 2 or 3 ingredients, there could be 10 to 20 ingredients, there could be hundreds of ingredients within that word fragrance that makes up the scent, and they don't have to tell you what they are. The companies that are trying to come clean will just list the ingredients that make up that fragrance as opposed to just putting the word fragrance or parfum. Parfum is the same thing. So if you can, it doesn't mean you have to use unscented products, but you just want to stay away from the word fragrance or parfum in the actual ingredient list. Oh, triclosan. Lots of people use hand sanitizers and things with triclosan, which are really just honestly not necessary. Triclosan is a known hormone disruptor. And the thing about hormone disruptors is they control your adrenal glands, which controls so many processes in your body, and they can mimic different hormones, and it can really wreak havoc on your body. So, putting that stuff on your kids' hands, and they put it in their mouth, it gets absorbed in their skin. A lot of things can be washed with just regular soap. What I do is I use a safe body wash that I know is safe for the body, and I put it in a pump at each of my sinks. And then I know that my kids are washing their hands, not only with a safe product, but it's something that I can even, if they got something on their mouth, I can put it on their cloth and even wipe their mouth with it, and I know that it's going to be safe for them. I'm sure a lot of people have heard also that some bacteria is actually safe for us. So when you're using those triclosan, you're kind of tricking your body into not fighting against some of those bacteria that they need to fight against to get to be healthy. Oh, it's summer and it's time for sunscreen. I also did a whole blog post on sunscreen because I really, really, really have a problem with a lot of the sunscreens that are out there who happen to have fragrance, which really, that's not really needed in a sunscreen, but any sunscreen that you use, whether it's safe or not safe, should be reapplied every 2 hours. So, and when you're using an SPF above 50, they're tricking you. You really don't need anything above, really 30 is high enough, but above 50 is not needed at all. So the best way is to find a safe sunscreen, but also try to use other methods. Like with my kids, I use like the sun shirts. So that's a lot of their body is covered when they're in the water, and that way you don't even have to worry about it at all. And so I'll go through some of these points here. The rates of melanoma, the most deadly form of skin cancer, have tripled over the past 35 years. Most scientists and public health agencies, including the FDA itself, have found very little evidence that sunscreen prevents most types of skin cancer. It doesn't mean it doesn't prevent any. The common sunscreen additive vitamin A may actually speed the development of skin cancer. And sunscreen industry adds a form of vitamin A to nearly 1/4 of all sunscreens. Retinol palmate is an antioxidant that slows skin aging, which a lot of people use for wrinkles and things. But the federal studies indicate that it may speed up the development of skin tumors and lesions when applied to the skin in the presence of the sun. So you're putting on this retinol on your face to try to help your wrinkles. And I used to use a facial sunscreen that had retinol in it. And I'd get out away from the beach and I'd take a shower, and my face would be maybe a little red from the sun, and I would put this stuff on and it would burn, and I would think to myself, oh, I got some good sun today, but really it shouldn't burn. Anything you're putting on your face like that shouldn't burn. So the ideal sunscreen would completely block UV rays that cause sunburn, immune suppression, and damaging free radicals. It would remain effective on the skin for several hours. It would not form harmful ingredients when degraded by the sunlight. It would smell and feel pleasant so that people would use more of it. Unfortunately, no sunscreen meets these goals. Americans must choose between a chemical sunscreen, which have inferior stability, penetrate the skin, and may disrupt the body's hormone system, and mineral sunscreens made with zinc and titanium, often micronized or containing nanoparticles. So my advice is to find the safest out there that works for you. And you can use the EWG Skin Deep database. And they actually have a sample set, which is really nice. You make a donation to them. I want to say it's $40 or $50, and they send you a whole slew of sunscreen samples, so you can kind of try each one out, see how they work for you and your family. So when will the laws change? When is Washington going to put their foot down and say that these companies need to start being more forthcoming with their ingredients? Unfortunately, the problem is that nothing's going to change in Washington because the companies that make these products are too big. A lot of them have two different recipes, if you will, for their products, because if they sell their products over in Europe, they have to comply over there. But it's cheaper to make them the unsafe way here in the States, and they don't have to make them healthier. So they just basically don't. So the bottom line is we, as the consumer, need to be the advocate and take the steps to educate ourselves so that we stop buying products that are unsafe. Until we start making those decisions, they're just going to keep putting crap on the shelves. So what can we do? Of course, educate yourself. If you're here, you're educating yourself, and that's awesome. Every choice counts. I know that you cannot combat and avoid every toxin in the world. It's just not possible. So each and every small choice that you can make can add up to a really, really big difference. So now I'm going to go over just the top 5 ways to avoid toxins and the top 5 ways to flush toxins. This was also off a blog post that I did. Top 5 ways to avoid toxins. Of course, number 1, clean out your personal products. Get rid of all those products that have nasty ingredients in them. Number 2 is to revamp your cleaning products and air fresheners. Again, just looking for a lot of cleaners aren't required to list what's in them either, which I think is pretty scary. But there's a lot of companies out there. Honest Company is one of them that I like to use some of their products. But again, it's gonna be trial and error. You're gonna have to see what really works for you and your family. Number 3, stop using plastic containers. And the biggest thing about plastic is the storage and heating. When something plastic is sitting on your car, or when you heat it in the microwave, that's really when the bad chemical reactions happen, BPA free or not. Just stop, use glass instead. Number 4 is keeping it clean. And I'm trying to do this as much as I can. Just vacuuming and keeping your floors clean and taking your shoes off at the door. When the bottoms of your shoes get a lot of stuff on them, toxins from walking around. So if you can kind of keep that stuff clean, it's definitely going to help out for your whole family. And number 5 is get a good whole house water filter. We have one in our sink for the kitchen, which I really, really like. But next house we build, I would love to get the whole house water filter, because your water is one of the biggest places where you can get toxins. And just even taking a shower with a lot of the chlorine that's in many of the municipalities around the states. So that's 5 ways you could avoid toxins. 5 ways to flush toxins. One is dry brushing. Now I started doing this over a year ago, and it's the coolest thing because a lot of, whether it's summer or winter, you get dry skin. So if you take like a back brush like that you would use in the shower, but when it's all dry, and you literally kind of brush all that skin off before you get into the shower. I mean, your skin, when it sweats, it actually pushes toxins out of your body, and then it gets dried, and that's what that dry skin is. Not that everything on there is toxic, but there probably are some in there. So if you can dry brush before you shower, it really it makes your skin feel really nice. Number two is on the eating side, eat clean, buy organic whenever you can, when it makes sense. And that's definitely a step in the right direction. 3, deep breathing, whether you do yoga or you just meditate a little bit here and there, or just, standing outside and taking some breaths. Some deep breaths, deep cleansing breaths is a good way to just release some toxins out of your body. Water, drinking and expelling is a great way to get rid of your toxins. And the top, number 5, is exercise. The good thing about exercise is you're sweating, which is releasing toxins. You're usually drinking water, which is flowing toxins through your body. And you're getting healthy. So, I mean, exercise is the best way to get rid of toxins. But be careful about what deodorant you wear. Okay, so I think we're good with just the class portion. I'm not going to do questions. We only have a few people on, so if anybody has any specific questions, you can just shoot me a message. But what I do offer, of course, is this class. This is the free class that I offer. I've been doing it twice a month now. I also have a beauty bag makeover, and what that is when you use the Skin Deep database, some of the products are in there and some are not. And if they're not, you can actually create your own report. So what I do is, a lot of people just don't have the time, the energy, or the knowledge that I have to look at their products. So they send me a list of everything they use, from toothpaste, deodorant, makeup, hairspray, everything. They send me a list of everything they use on a daily basis, and I'll rate it for you. You can find that at www.heatherjadis.com. That's HEATHERJADUS.com. And the Beauty Bag Makeover is one of the pages there. You can take a look. I also offer a Bonding with Beauty. It's a private class for mother and daughters. I'm trying to also, teach women, but also get women to teach their daughters in an early age, when they're really getting into makeup, that they need to look for these safe ingredients too. So this Bonding with Beauty is a 5-week course with mother and daughter, teaching them both what I teach here and then some, but there's also some bonding exercises. There's some fun stuff thrown in there, some journaling. It's a really good experience for a mother and daughter. So it's been fun. And then I am also soon going to put a program out there for sale, a step-by-step EWG Skin Deep database how-to. I mean, obviously, if you type your product in there and it's just sitting there, it's easy. But the creating the reports there's a little caveat to it. So I'm going to put together a little video on how to do that. So here's where you find me. My website, again, is www.heatherjadis.com. You can email me at heatherjadis@gmail.com. I have a Facebook fan page, which is Beauty on a Mission. And I also have, if you're interested in the mother-daughter, like the Bonding with Beauty, or if you have a daughter, if you are a daughter, you have sons, but you still are a daughter, that's fine. Join our group. We kind of try to go through women's issues raising kids, raising little girls especially, and it's kind of a good group. We help each other out a lot. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk soon. Definitely, if anybody has any questions, just shoot me a message, okay? Thanks, everyone.